Now we're going to go through Edmodo, the tool you never knew you needed so badly. And my name is Desiree Alexander. For those of you new to the room, if you stay with me through branding, you are a trooper. Awesome. Thank you for staying with me. Our hashtag is EC Global. So definitely make sure that you are doing the Twitter and telling how awesome your experience is and all that good stuff. On Twitter, I'm at Educator Alex. So definitely follow me. I'll follow you back. My website is educatoralexander.com, which always has resources for you. Who am I? I am the Regional Director from North Louisiana for the Associated Professional Educators of Louisiana, or APEL. And I'm the founder CEO of Educator Alexander Consulting. Since we're talking about Edmodo, I am an Edmodo certified ambassador. So I want to show you a little bit about Edmodo. If you wanted to put a comment on my website, I do have a place for comments. Of course, EdChange Global has our evaluation, so definitely do that for all of the sessions that you go to. You can find me at educatoralexander.com. My email is educatoralexander@gmail. So email me for anything. If you email me right now, I'm going on like 3 hours of sleep every night, so you'll probably get a response next week. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Edmodo and see why is it the tool that you never knew you needed so badly. All right, so if you have any questions, guys, just unmute yourself and ask. That's the easiest way, or put it in the chat box. But since this is a collaborative type of training, you may be talking to each other in the chat box too, and I may miss your question. So definitely chat, or it's easier if you just hop on the mic and ask. Edmodo. What Edmodo is a learning management system. So what that means is it's a system to manage your classroom. A lot of people ask me, well, how is it different from let's say a Google Classroom? Well, Google Classroom is not a learning management system because you don't create stuff within Google Classroom. You go to Google Forms and create it, or you go to Google Docs and create it, right? Google Classroom just helps you distribute it. Well, with Edmodo, it is a complete learning management system, and it's free. So it allows you to assign work, to grade work, but it also lets you create work directly in Edmodo. The amazing things about it, besides it assigning and things like that, is you can incorporate Google Drive with your Edmodo. So a lot of people like to put Edmodo and Google against each other, and it's not that kind of case. So you can actually incorporate your Google Drive into Edmodo. You can also, this is one of the biggest like mind-blowing things for me with Edmodo, is that Edmodo also gives you Office Online. So if you click on Office Online, once you create your account, notice that you and your students can have Word, PowerPoint, and Excel for free. I mean, like, what are you talking about, right? So you get that Edmodo account, your students that may not have had Word or PowerPoint or Excel can now have it for free through Edmodo. So they won't have it on their computer and their desktop and all that kind of stuff, but they will log into their Edmodo account and they can actually go and work on a Word document and things like that through Edmodo. And then they can download the Word document and send it to you. But if they don't have Word on their computer, they can't just open it directly on their computer. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what Edmodo is. So let me show you just some quick ways, because there's no way I can show you everything you could do in Edmodo in like 45 minutes. But I'm going to show you some quick things that you can do to get started on Edmodo. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do, of course, is to create an Edmodo account. So you would just go to edmodo.com, and that's EDMODO, right? I thought it was going to lead me here. Let me log out so I can show you that screen. I'm too prepared. I'm logged in, ready to go. All right, so when you go to Edmodo, you're going to see this screen. So you will say, I'm a teacher, and you're going to create an account. So if you go to I'm a teacher, you can also sign in. If you have an Office 365 or a Google account, you can just click this and you're done, right? Or you can do your email address and your password. Now, if you're using Edmodo through your school district can create a district account, and then every school will actually have a school code, and you just put in that code to join and you can become a teacher for your district account. But I'm just looking at just you personally going to create an Edmodo account. So that's how you would create your account. Let me log in. Let's see. I'm sure I'm going to be logged out. Wait here too. The little thing right here messes me up. Let me put it at the bottom. So I have my email and all that already there. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. So this is the screen that you come to when you have logged in. If you come to this side, notice you have classes and groups. So if you've used Edmodo kind of back in the day, they have updated some stuff. So you want to take a look at like the new Edmodo. Classes are for your students. Groups are for professional development. Those kind of like if I want to make a teacher group that the teachers can communicate with each other and things like that, that would be a group. So they have separated that into classes and groups. It used to all be called groups if you were in if you've used Edmodo before. Give me a second. Water. It does the body good. All right. So we're going to create a class so I can show you kind of how to get that class created. So I'm going to come here under classes and I'm going to come to create a class. So when I click that, I'm going to give my class a name. So I'm going to call my class PD EdChange Global. And let me move this out the way. And I'm going to put the date. Do you have to do that? Of course not. But that's what my title is going to be, so I can know what it is. So then you can select a grade level, so whatever grade I may teach, or you can say a range. So you can say, well, oh, I teach 1st through 3rd grade or whatever. So you can either pick one or you can pick a range. I'm going to say I'm teaching higher education. And then you can select an area. So I'm going to do professional development because that's what I'm doing today. And I'm just doing Edmodo training. And then I can change the color. You see these little color blocks right here? That's the color that you're actually changing. So whatever your preference may be, right? So I'm going to just leave it at that color. If I want to change it, I would just click it. Let's make it purple. There we go. So I'm going to hit create. So how do I get people into this class? How do I get other teachers? But since I made a class, that means I'm mainly concentrated on students. So how do I get them? So there is a handout that I can download and like give to the student. Maybe they want to discuss it with their parent, things like that. So let me just take a little side note. With Edmodo, your parents can have their own login. So you know how, and I know I keep comparing it to Google Classroom, but people always ask me those comparisons. So with Edmodo, it's not like with Google Classroom. With Google Classroom, the parents can just get that little update email, or the parents can use their students' login. Well, with Edmodo, the parents can actually have their own login, and they can see what's happening with all of the children they may have in different grade levels and things like that. So you can download. Let's see. Do we have a question? Oh, I thought I heard the little bing. Okay, so maybe somebody came in. So this is the handout. So it says, hey, you're joining this Edmodo. This is the code, and these are the instructions for parent. Visit Edmodo from your phone or computer, and there is an app. Click join the group button and put in this code. Follow the instructions to create an account and get started with Edmodo. Oh no, I don't know what I just did. Let's see. Don't forget to record the session. Oh, I think is it not already recording from the last session? I think.
That's what I'm saying. Everything else is good. I just gotta get dishes up.
Please request recording permission from the meeting host. Yeah, it won't let me start the recording because I didn't come in as the host. Let me see if I can change that. I think it's going to open up a new window, so I'm not going to do that. Let's see. Okay, I thought, oh, then somebody said don't forget to record. Okay, okay, so I don't know what just happened. All right, so okay, so I was like, what? I thought we were recording. So, okay, so follow the instructions to create an account and get started on Edmodo. So that's the little code they would use to join Edmodo.
Desiree, is everything okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I just saw you clicking around. I didn't know if you needed anything.
Oh, well, in the comments, somebody told me to make sure I record. So I was like, oh, I thought I was recording already.
We're recording it. Yeah, we got it.
Okay, so I don't okay.
I just want to make sure.
Thank
Well, they
you.
just want to see your amazing session later. That's why they wanted you to record.
Okay, I was like, wait, what's happening?
No, you're
happening? Thank y'all. All right. So that's the support you get with EdChange. All right. So on Edmodo, or you can just share the class code. I can just write it on the board and say go to edmodo.com and put in the class code. You can invite by email, so you can actually put their email addresses in here and you'll send them an email with the class code and all that amazing, awesome stuff. Or if you're part of a school, you can like type in their name. So it's like you're adding them to your class. Does that make sense? So you can see right here, students will be added to your class instantly. Teachers will be added once they accept your invitation. So you can actually just come here and type them in and add them. So those are the different ways to get your students into Edmodo. So I'm going to click done. And now I have a class. I don't have any members in my class because none of my students have joined. But, excuse me, if you want to join my Edmodo, help yourself. My class code is also just hanging out over here. If I ever want to lock the group because I don't need anybody else to join this group, I can come here and just... You have questions? No? Okay. Somebody may have just joined. Oh. Let's see. Somebody. Okay, they muted. All right. So if you want to lock down your code because you don't need anybody else to join, you can lock the group. I'm not going to reset it now just in case somebody joined in my class. But you can reset your code as well. So if you start seeing people that are not supposed to be in your class, you can reset your code. So it's not going to do anything to the people already in your class, but you can reset it to where you get a brand new code. So that old code will not work anymore. So if you want to join, you see the class code, it kind of just sits here. So you can do that. So I'm going to go, this will show me all of my members. Folders is where anything that you add to this class, like your assignments, any kind of things that you want to any kind of folder that you want to make available, any kind of materials and resources that you want to make available to your students. You can come here to manage folders. You can add a brand new folder. Let's call this one PD. I'm going to say create. I'm going to go ahead and say done. So now I have a folder that I can actually add materials into. So I'll click new. I have file upload, and I have some other stuff down here, like with my Office 365. I'm going to say just file upload. Let's see, do I even have any quizzes? I don't have any quizzes. So I'm going to say choose file. And yes, I love baby group. So I'm going to add baby group for my class so they can have baby group. All right. So this is, if you are comparing it to a Google Classroom, this is your About tab. So this is where you can come and put stuff and your students can go and have access to these files. Post is where you're going to live most of the time. This is where you post the stuff that you want your students to work on, right? So I'm going to go through all these little buttons down here and show you these are the things that you want that you can use to post. Before I do that, just because I know we're not going to have time to go through every single thing, I want to go through some of this stuff that's on the side, right? So notice under classes, I have my class right here. If I wanted to move my class around, I could use my, oh, it's not working for me. Oh, whatever. All right, well, there you go. Well, you can hear, I don't know why it's not working for me, but that's fine. Right under here, and if I click on another class, you'll see they have all the same little stuff kind of under them. Let me go back to my, chat. Using Edmodo already was difficult in Europe because of data issues when out is acquired by Chinese company, I was told. How do you handle this? Will there be any changes in security and privacy? I'm not sure about the acquirement. I have not heard about that. But for when I used it in the school district, we actually had a district account. So we had someone that was over all of the student private, not student privacy, all of the student data that was put into it. I wasn't using it personally one-on-one. I was using it through my district. So my district handled all of the information that students, it was mainly their name that students used, because our students actually had Google accounts. So they just clicked log in with Google. So really the only information, like personal, sorry guys, I've been doing like 3 conferences. My throat is getting a little tight. The only student data that was really incorporated in it was their name. So that's how we handled it. I hope I answered your question. I don't know about the acquirements by a Chinese company. I'm not sure about that. Okay, I was waiting for a second. Okay, so I forgot what I was doing. Where am I? Let me refresh my screen. Okay, so it looks like my little PD class went away for a second. So I'm gonna go back in my class. So let me refresh and show you that too. So notice that when I first came into Edmodo, it just brought me back to my class. But you actually have to click on the class to go into the class. So keep that in mind, because sometimes you'll see like just a generic, you're almost like in the generic waiting room, and it has all kind of like stuff that other people are posting. You're like, where am I? So just make sure that you actually click on the class to go into the class. So notice right here, I can create a small group. So if I come here, if I have, of course, multiple students, I can create my enrichment group, or I can create my group that needs more help, or I can create my whatever kind of groups you want to create. And they actually, so let's do one. I'm going to say reading level blue. So these small groups actually stay here. Okay, so once you create the groups, it's not like you have to group Johnny, Melissa, and Eddie every time you do an assignment. You can just creating a group, go to members, add Melissa, Eddie, and blah, blah, and you actually will have them in a group forever and ever. So it's a pretty cool tool, and then you can assign stuff just to that group. So if you have the quiz that has 5 less questions, you can assign it to just that group of students. So it's a really cool tool that you can use. Let's look at the chat. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. So I'll look at that later. All right. So going back to post, if you look at this side of the screen, so of course you have all your stuff on this side and your groups. If you look at this side of the screen, you have your Spotlight apps. It's been in beta for like 50 years. But you have your Spotlight apps. So what these are materials and resources that people create, and they put them on here. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. And it's stuff that you can use. It's almost like a teachers pay teachers. I hate to say that, but kind of. So you can actually look at content specific. So if you talk, let's see, German, that's what I was trying to get to. Oh, there's nothing there. I don't know why I'm trying to get to specific stuff. All right. Oh, nothing there either. Okay, whatever. So if you start ELA, there's different things here that you can click on. You can see what it's all about, what is excuse me, what it's all about, how do you use it, and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a little swap meet store. And that's going back to the original. All right, so I clicked on the picture and just went back. I thought the back button would do it, but it didn't. So that's the Spotlight apps. And then you have the app launcher. Your app launcher are actually apps that you have already downloaded. You can come here and actually launch them. So they'll just be the little blocks. Like I downloaded the Office Online. The planner was already there, but if it's not, you can download that as well. So all the apps you've already downloaded will be here. Office Online, I can either click there on the app launcher or I can click right here. So for Office Online, you can get Word, PowerPoint, or Excel, and notice that you can also link your Office account to Edmodo. If you link your Office account to Edmodo, you can also link your Google account to Edmodo. What it's going to do is it's going to open up your library of resources that you can add to assignments and things like that on Edmodo. So if I link my Office 365 account, when I go to library, I can actually, I don't have to take stuff from my Office account and put it in Edmodo. I don't have to take stuff from my Google Drive account and put it in Edmodo. It's odd, you can just link it. I think I can just click and it'll automatically go to my Google Drive account and I can just pull something from it and throw it into the assignment. So it really was a game changer for Edmodo. So with Word and PowerPoint and Excel, if a student will click on this, or you will click on this, so now it's going to Word Online. It looks, a lot like your regular Word on your desktop or whatever, and they can use it. When they use it, they can download a copy. Like I said, they can download it to their computer, then do whatever they want to with it. If they don't have Word on their computer, they're not going to be able to open it unless they go through Edmodo. But they can download as a PDF, excuse me, or they can download as ODT, and I'm not 100% sure what that even means. I never try to find out, which is not a good thing. Always try to find out. They can also print it, but most of the time, of course, because you're doing it online, I'm trying to move this over. Oh, look at me. You're doing an online program. This little thing is this little toolbar. Oh, okay, whatever. I'll just leave it there. I was trying to show you what was underneath that. But so they can come here and they can work. So they honestly, all of your students have free access to Office 365, at least those 3 products. Not a bad deal. All right, so this is the generic one. So you see how I was like, oh, what's happening? Latest post, what's happening? You have to click on the class to go into the class. I'm glad I was able to show you that. All right, so those are the little apps that I have up here. If I go to, let's see. Okay, I'll look it up later. Thank you so much, though. So if I come here, I can change the color to whatever I want to change, or I can go to settings. Under settings, even though you have it kind of up here, you have your class code. You also have a join URL that you can send to people. And when they click it, they can, something is completely messing up my sinuses, guys, I'm sorry. But they can click it and they can actually go to your class. Then you have a public URL. You're not really going to use this too often. And I'm already signed in, so it's going to look a little weird. But you're not really going to use this too often. People can, do the RSS subscriptions, but usually you're going to get your students to join your class. You're not really going to use the public URL for anything. All right. Under your advanced settings, this is where you can change all of those things that you did when you first came into the group. When you first created the group, sorry. You can also archive it. So, if you look over here, it can get pretty busy with classes, right? Like 2016, so it gets pretty busy with classes and things like that. So you may want to start archiving it at a certain point. So you have your archive, and then you can default all new members to read only. That means when somebody first joins, they won't be able to like comment, do stuff like that. They'll only be able to read the screen. Now they'll still be able to work and click on stuff, but they won't be able to comment and stuff like that. You can hide your posts from parents so they can only see like their student work. And you can moderate all posts and replies, which means if your student wants to reply to something, you will have to actually approve it before everybody else can see it. You can do a description. You can copy a group or class. This has been an amazing tool because you'll create something and you're like, okay, I want the exact same thing for second period. Copy the group or class. And you can also completely delete it. So those are the things you can do under advanced settings. Let's go to the chat. Okie dokie. So you can completely delete it as well. All right. So I kind of showed you a couple of things around the screen. Now let's get to this, and then we'll get to as many of these up here as we can get to, and we'll be done. And this is your account. This is where you come to log out, and of course other stuff, but we're not gonna be able to get to all this. And this is also where you can get to log out. All right. So how do I post stuff, right? So this first one is a note, an assignment, a quiz, and a poll. You have these little buttons down here. So if I wanted to post a note, notice that it's telling me that it's going to the PD class. And if I wanted to go to multiple classes, I would just click here and start typing the class. So I also want this to go to my reading. So now notice it's bringing up, so I can say, oh, my reading parent group or my just reading level group. So I wanted to go to my group, and then I wanted to go to, let's say, Teen Library Council. So I want it to go to all these people. If I don't want something in here, I can just click the X. So I'm going to say, hello. That's going to be my note. So notice I have these down here. I can attach a file from my computer. We'll go with Baby Groot again. I can attach a link. So I can have the title of the links that says, welcome. And then I'm going to say, I want the link to go to yahoo.com. Whatever. Next, you can add from your library. So remember when I said you can connect your Office 365 or you can connect your Google Drive. I have not connected my Office 365, but I have connected my Google Drive. So I can come here to my Google Drive and actually choose, all my stuff are in folders, and actually choose something to attach. Okay, so I now, in the past, you had to actually upload anything you wanted to use in Edmodo to the Edmodo library. Now you don't have to do that anymore. It's a game changer. And this is my directly from Google Drive button because I have connected Google Drive. I don't have a OneNote button because I haven't connected OneNote. This is to format your text. So anything that you would put 2 asterisks in front and behind will actually be bolded. Okay, so it's things like that. So you can look at how that works. And then you can actually send the post or schedule the post for later. Ooh, something is messing up. Excuse me. So you can actually schedule your post to go out later. So even if you're going to be absent tomorrow or something like that, and your students are already, of course, used to working on Edmodo, you can schedule your post to go out. So if you wake up and you're actually sick, you can schedule your post. I want this to go out to first period, this to go out when second period hits, this to go out to third period, and your students can continue to work on the assignments. Really, really cool. Or you can just schedule something if you know you're going to be out or something like that, you can just schedule it. Marking as important, you can see it gives you a little note that notes marked as important display above the latest post, because whatever your latest thing is will always be at the top. So if you mark it as important, it's going to automatically go to the top, tippy top, but it will expire in 48 hours. That doesn't mean it goes away. It just will go back to its regular placement, if that makes sense. Any questions, guys? Definitely put it in the chat or just unmute yourself. So when I'm ready to post, I'm going to hit post. Hello, says Baby Groot. And notice this is the link that I put there. So there you go. I have my first post. If you were part of my class, you would see that, or if you were part of Teen Library Council or any of these, you would see that pop up. It's ready to go. So that was a note. Now, if you're looking at doing an assignment, you have your assignment title. So I can call this, I don't know, reading, whatever. You can do a due date. That's fine. With the due date, I will tell you that you can only pick these. So you can only pick it in 15-minute increments. You can't say I want it done in, you know, at 12:20. So just kind of keep that in mind. You can tell it to lock the assignment after the due date. So that means when that due date hits, that due date and time hits, that's it. They will not be able to access it. Or you can let them access it and it will tell you that they turned it in late. So it's up to you. You can also add it directly to your grade book. So you do have a grade book, which I don't know why it's never called grade book, but it's like this little heartbeat and it's called progress. So you do have a grade book on here. So if you want this assignment automatically added to your grade book, and then of course the grades will be added after that, you can do that. I used Edmodo. I use Edmodo and Google Classroom kind of interchangeably now, but definitely before Google Classroom, I use Edmodo for a lot of professional development, and that's before they actually changed it to classes and groups. And it was a life changer because I was able to put quizzes on here for the content that they were supposed to go through, and it was self-grading. I didn't have to worry about, you know, grading anything or seeing if they did it. Everything just gave me the data, and it was beautiful. So so there you go. The assignment description. So I would say, read this article and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Again, you can send it to different people. Again, you have the same buttons, and that's what I like about it. Once you learn kind of one of the little things up here like quiz poll, you kind of know what to do after that. So you have the send later and all that kind of stuff. So I'll add something, whatever. Sure. Send. All right. So I did want to show you one more thing that I just saw when. All right. So notice right here when I put that, you have view only, which means all they'll be able to do is see it and download it. And then you have make a copy, and then they'll be able to actually work on it. So you do have those options too, which is, again, if you use Edmodo in the past, you didn't have that. So I don't want to say it's new to kind of keep up with the Google Classroom of it all, but it's an update. All right. This is where Edmodo becomes an LMS, becomes different. It's because you can create stuff in Edmodo. So under quiz, I can either load a quiz from the collection. That means these are quizzes that I've already done, right? Or I can create a brand new quiz. So let's do one that I've already done. So I'm gonna click here. And nothing is going, oh, there it is. So I can click here and edit it. I was like, nothing's going to happen. Come on. You can do it. All right. I'm going to refresh and we'll do one ourselves, because I know our time is limited. All right, so let's just create a quiz. All right, there we go. All right, so when you create a quiz, you have your title right here. So I'll just call this blah, blah. You have your minutes. So how many minutes do you actually want to give them? You can either leave that blank and then it'll be unlimited, or, you know, you can put something ridiculous like that. So whatever, however you want to do that. So notice you have add first question. So I'm going to click here to add my first question. It tells me that I'm on question number 1. I can change it to multiple choice, true, false, short answer, fill in the blank, or matching. And I can give it a point value. I'll just leave it at 1 point, multiple choice. How do you Why are my words in whites? Like EdChange Global. I don't know why my words are in whites. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I don't know why my words are coming up in white, but I'm going to just continue just so you can see how to do it. So you type your question in here. You have an attachment, so you can attach either a link or something from your library. So you can do an attachment. So these are your responses. See if this is coming out right. I don't know. But you can add a response. So you can add as many responses as you can. Because it's multiple choice, you have to have at least 2 responses. Makes sense, right? If you want to set something as the correct answer, you just hit set as correct answer. If you want to remove an answer, you can remove it, but you have to have at least 2. That's what makes it multiple choice. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my question looks like that, but that's multiple choice. When you want to add a question, you come and hit the little plus sign. And now I'm going to make this one true, false. So for your true, false, you type your question, which is working fine now. I think it just was a little tech thing. And then you just say which one is right, true or false. Done. Your next question type is short answer. So for short answer, you'll do your question prompt. And Edmodo does not grade short answer. So it doesn't let you put the answer choice in there. Okay. Excuse me. Fill in the blank. So short answer can also be essay. It really doesn't have to be short, but that's what it is. Fill in the blanks. So let me tell you how to do fill in the blanks. So if you wanted to say the sky is blue and blue is the answer that you want them to give, you would type the sky is, and notice it tells you to put a little line wherever you want that blank to be. So I don't have to do this. Like if I was in Word, right? Yeah, you don't have to do that. You just put one little underscore line and that's it. Notice down here, it lets you put the answer choice right here. So I'm going to say blue. Now, just like any type of system that has the computer grading it, you have to actually put the exact thing. So if you say B-L-U-E, your students have to type in B-L-U-E. If they type in B-O-U, it's wrong. So if they misspell it, it's wrong. So you want to get them used to that. Now, of course, you can go back and give them the points, which I have done in the past. But that's how you have to do your fill in the blank. If you want more than one answer, you do it like that. So the sky is blue and beautiful. There you go. So you can do multiple fill in the blanks in the same question. Next. Matching. So how matching is, the instructions are here, but you can, change those instructions if you want to. And then what you're going to do is put what you need down here. So I would say animal is cat. I would say color is blue and stuff like that. So I would just keep it going. Number is 3. And you can add other ones if you want them, or you can remove them. So for matching, you do have to have at least 3. And that's how you do your matching question. So notice that you can do, like if I wanted question number 3 to be more than 1 point, I can change it there. If I want to remove a question, I can just click remove question. If I wanted to change these questions around, I can actually take it and just drag it. So now my number 5 will become my number 3, right? So you can just come over here and just drag it. You can also click load. What load does is lets you use questions that you have previously created, which is, when I was doing this and using it every single day, it was beautiful because I didn't have to, like this question, with standard, blah, 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 and it's a whole, the answer choices are so big, and I didn't have to do that. I did it once, and then I can just load it into other, questions. So there you go. excuse me. On this side, you can put what this quiz is about. Up to you. You can leave this blank if you want. You can leave that blank if you want to. For the quiz options, you can randomize questions, which means if me and Johnny are taking the quiz right by each other, his quiz order will be different from my quiz order. You can say show results, which means the student will be able to see what they did, like what did I miss, what's my score, that kind of thing. The publishing options, this is just if you wanted to publish it to Edmodo Spotlight. You remember that place we went that was kind of like the swap, the flea market, or like the little place you can like teachers pay teachers, so you can just say publish it there, or you can publish it to your profile to where only teachers can view the quiz. And when they say teachers with the S, that's because if you're part of the district account, so only teachers will be able to see the quiz. So that's everything on here. You can preview it and see what your students will see. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. All right. So also you can print the quiz, but if you need to, right? I was about to get rid of the whole thing. You can print the quiz. All right, and then when you're ready, you can click done. And this is my weirdly named quiz. And I'm ready to go. So I can give it a due date and all that. I can add it to the grade book if I want to. And okay, I guess great, whatever. All right, and then I'm done. So that's what makes Edmodo an LMS that you can actually create, excuse me, content in Edmodo. Your poll question, I still want to jump to something else, but I'm going to finish this. I'm like, oh, I'm going to show you this. The poll question is exactly what it sounds like, a poll. So this is not a right or wrong kind of thing. This is your bell ringer. This is your exit ticket. This is your survey question. So if I want to say something like, what color shirt do we want? I can say blue, purple. I can add an answer if I want to, yellow. All right, and then I can, of course, do all the same stuff that I have here, and then I can send this. So this would just be a regular poll question, and you'll show me how many people said what. Okay. So what Edmodo used to be called back in the day was the educational Facebook. So you've ever heard that? That's what Edmodo, that's when they became really popular. And it's because of stuff like this. So if you look at the post that I put, it looks very Facebooky, right? It has my picture, my name, and all that. And notice that students can like, they can reply. So it's very Facebook formatty, if that's a word. It's not. So there you go. So I just want to show you that. If you look up here with the rest of our 9 minutes, if you want to go home, you can click that. Home means that you are in your home. You're not in a certain class, right? So I have all kind of stuff, anything that I posted, I can say a little more posts. So this would just show me what people are posting who have followed me. I follow other people and stuff like that. So there you go. What's due will show you what's due and who has turned it in, how many people are waiting for you to grade it, that kind of thing. Progress is your grade book. So if I come here, let's see, I forgot what I named you guys. That's you. All right, so you will have all of your, well, let me go to a class that has students in it. That one? I know this one definitely does. All right, so notice I have all my students' names here. I have the assignments and I have their grades, right? And this was automatically graded. So if I made a mistake on, let's say, that quiz that you saw me create, if you make a mistake on it, once the first student actually takes it, you cannot edit it. You can edit it for your future use, but you cannot edit it for who you just sent it to once that first student does it. So I know I have made a mistake on quizzes before. I know you thought I was perfect. But so I've had to go in and give students a point. So how do you do that? You just click on it and you can actually change this grade to whatever I want to change it to. So that has been super, super helpful for me. So you can do that. You can export the grades if you want to take them and do something else with them. You can add a grade, maybe it's a participation grade. You don't have an actual assignment for it. So I can say, well, I want to enter a participant. Well, I'm not going to do that because then they're all going to get, like, what do you call that? Notified. I don't want all these people to get notified. You can also create badges in Edmodo. So if you went back to the progress button, you see my student badges. So you can actually use the badges that they have here, or you can create your own. So I created this awesome Educator Alexander Award. So you can do that as well. We're definitely not going into how to create a badge, but here's the plus sign. You can play around with it. Excuse me. You have your library. Soon as it loads. All right, so you have your library. This is all stuff that I actually uploaded to Edmodo. So this is my Edmodo library. But then, of course, now that you can integrate, if you have all your stuff already in a Google Drive or a OneDrive, and I've had people ask me about Dropbox, you can take the stuff from Dropbox and put it in Edmodo. You're kind of still doing it the old way for Dropbox. But if I wanted to create a folder or anything like that, notice that this is the exact same button that we left out earlier. So then you have your messages. So if somebody is emailing you or anything like that, you can start a conversation directly with them. Like this is like your direct message part of it. And then you have your notifications. So this will tell you like who did what, who turned what in. People are requesting, which I have a whole bunch of people I need to fix it. All this kind of stuff. So people will, follow you to see what you're doing and see all the cool assignments you're making and that kind of stuff. So you can do all that as well. Under this little arrow, I told you this is where you logged out, but you also have other stuff right here. So you have your profile, go put your picture on there, make sure, your account is appealing. I want to go to Spotlight right quick. And this is the, no, that's not actually where I want to go. That's the same thing. All right, so, sorry about that. Thank you. Microsoft. Okay, so under my PLC, you can add school contacts. You can look at your connections. These are people that act out taking classes from on Edmodo and taking classes with on Edmodo. So it's really cool because it's not only your students' LMS, but it becomes your LMS as well. Well, not really your LMS, but it becomes part of your PLC resources because you get to meet people, you get to communicate with people, and you can kind of keep that going right here in Edmodo. I'm going to go, back to home. Yes, I agree. And I am going to look at that article, so I do appreciate you posting that. But I completely agree. I've used it. When I was actually in the classroom, I didn't use it because I don't think it existed. But I've used it a bunch with adults. Like I've used it when I was teaching classes to adults. That's what you just saw, part of that class with the adults. So I've used it a bunch with adults, and I've used it a bunch for communication and like PD, like I'm doing now, but like ongoing PD. So it's a really, really good tool. And that's why I named the class the tool you never knew you needed so badly. Because it's so much stuff. Just the fact that you can get free Office and you can get, you can integrate it with Drive. I mean, it's so much there. And I haven't even showed you everything, but I haven't showed you everything. But it's so much there that you can do with it that people don't really know. So that's why I named the class that. Yes, there's a lot of good teacher networks. Okay, bye. Thank you. We only have 2 minutes left anyway, so make sure that you, if you need to contact me for anything, you can go to my website, educatoralexander.com. You can also go, I'm educatoralexander@gmail.com if you want to go to my website and leave a comment. You can also do the evaluation for EdChange Global. I'm sure if you've come to any of the classes, you've gotten that link for that Great Teacher National Award. Yes, so you can become certified, you can become an ambassador. It's so much you can do with Edmodo. So thank you for joining me. I do have another session that I'm gonna hop into for Google Certified Level 1. I don't know what room I'm supposed to be in, so I need to go look. And then but thank you so much for coming, guys. Hopefully you learned something. I know it was very quick, but I just want to show you as much as I could so now you can go and play with it. Oh, and how to join a class. If you come right here, you see join a class. So like if you wanted to join my class just now, that's what you do. So you would create that account, you would go to join a class, and you would put in that group code. So that's how you join somebody else's class, okay? Whew, that was a lot of information in an hour. Thank you for staying with me and working with me. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. I'm gonna just go ahead and start getting prepared for the next class. And thank you so much. I appreciate it.